Hey everyone, it's Peter from Rock Daydream Nation. Well, Deep Purple are one of the greatest hard rock bands of all time. They're responsible for pioneering a sound that has had its influence on multiple bands right up to this very day. Everyone that has picked up a guitar, has strummed a Smoke on the Water or Black Knight, you get the drift. Purple is also responsible for a family tree that is a broad cornerstone of hard rock and heavy metal. I'm talking Rainbow, I'm talking Whitesnake, Gillan, Glenn Hughes, Pal Ashton Lord, the list goes on. In today's episode, I'm going to contemplate some choice if-only scenarios in respect of Deep Purple and the family tree. Sliding doors, missed opportunities, should've, could've, if only. Let's do a countdown of 5 if-only scenarios. Number 5, Rainbow. Long Live Rock and Roll 1978 came out consisting of the lineup of Ritchie Blackmore, Cozy Powell, Ronnie James Dio, with newbies David Stone on keyboards and Bob Daisley on bass. My if only was if that lineup recorded a follow-up. It had good chemistry, this lineup. This album was a mix of commercial and unrelenting neo-classical castle rock. Think down to earth, but Ronnie James Dio singing, less AOR, more crunch, Cozy Powell's thundering drums, Bob Daisley, his sturdy lyrics and his bass playing, and David Stone with his classical keyboard work. There was good chemistry. It was very short-lived. This lineup deserved to have a follow-up. So my number 5 scenario is Long Live Rock and Roll, if only the lineup did a follow-up. My number 4, David Coverdale reunites with John Sykes. So it's undeniable that in 1987, the lineup, the partnership between David Coverdale and John Sykes was tempestuous, but it was also lightning in a bottle. Creatively, they were magic. They made beautiful music together. And, 1987 is on its way, if not already, to diamond certification. That is 10 million albums sold in America. Not too shabby. Still of the Night, Here I Go Again, remake, Is This Love? That was the cornerstone hits off the album, but there was so much more. Bad Boys, great songs, great playing. There was a real energy between those two. So we know what happened. Sykes got fired. David Coverdale fired the whole band, took a band on the road that didn't play on the album. Whitesnake were on hiatus for a while, and they did resurface, albeit with Doug Aldridge, Red Beach, Tommy Aldridge, etc. Imagine if John Sykes for the tour concentrate on 1987 material and record an album perhaps. Maybe get Adrian Vandenberg to be the second guitarist. Yeah, it's a long shot. I understand that David Coverdale did reach John Sykes and John Sykes declined. But I just think it's one of those greatest what-if questions. If they actually got together and reunited, I think it would have done decent box office and it would have generated a bit of heat and some record sales. So my what-if Whitesnake question is David Coverdale reuniting with John Sykes. Another honourable mention while I'm here is imagine if the follow-up to 1987, John Sykes was still in the band, and the follow-up wasn't Slip of the Tongue. It was a hybrid of Blue Murder and Slip of the Tongue. I would suggest that although it may not have been as successful as 1987, because 1987, and it's rare for any albums that follow such a blockbuster do better, but I think it would have done a lot better than Slip of the Tongue or Blue Murder. And creatively, as I said, those two had magic together, put their heads together, and you could have had the best of Blue Murder and the best of Slip of the Tongue material. Think about that. That's my honourable mention. My number 3, If Only, Come Taste the Band. Imagine this. 76, Tommy Bolin lives. Hughes and Bolin go into rehab. They get cleaned up. And the Mark IV lineup of Deep Purple lives on. They record a follow-up to Come Taste the Band. The record goes into even more fusion, even more experimentation. You've got a bit of R&B, you've got a little bit of funk with that hard rock swagger. Think early Whitesnake with David Coverdale. This could possibly be Deep Purple's late 70s answer to Rolling Stone's Some Girls. I think this band had great potential, but a lot of people were thinking, where's Richie? And they were dead against Tommy Bolin being in the band. But over time, you look back at it and you just think this album is actually a masterpiece. It is a great album. And I will put my hand on the heart. It's top 5 Deep Purple, and I'll defend it to the day. Come Taste the Band. They do a follow-up, If Only. My number 2, the classic lineup of Whitesnake. I'm talking about Ready and Willing, Come and Get It, Saints and Sinners, and I'm talking about David Coverdale vocals, Mick Moody, Bernie Marsden guitars, Neil Murray on bass, John Lord on keyboards, the great Ian Pace on drums, reunite, play the Hammersmith Odeon, or whatever it was called, in 2003, celebrate the 25 years of Whitesnake. Couple of nights, record it, done. They're all alive. The chemistry in that band was immense. They were one of Britain's greatest hard rock blues bands, and the material they wrote for those couple of albums for that 4 or 5 year period was just of such a high quality. I think that would have generated a lot of interest. A lot of folk from overseas would have come to the venue, would have created a buzz. This is Whitesnake at their bluesy, their most earthy, playing songs that have not been played for a considerable period of time. Coverdale just sings in the pocket in that lower bluesy register. I think it would have been immense. It would have been mega. The classic lineup of Whitesnake reunite. And that's my number 2. Well, my number 1, and reading a lot of interviews that happened in the day and post happening in the day, this was definitely discussed, but just didn't come to fruition due to the death of John Lord. And I'm talking about the Mark III lineup of Deep Purple reuniting. David Coverdale vocals, Glenn Hughes bass vocals, Richie Blackmore guitar, John Lord on keyboard, and I guess Ian Pace. I mean, Ian Pace was still in the, playing with the Steve Morse lineup of Deep Purple, but maybe they could have drafted him in. Everyone was talking about it. Richie Blackmore was keen, but it didn't happen. John Lord passed away in 2011, and it came to nix. John Lord, in a lot of his final interviews, sort of said that John Lord, prior to that, even said, wouldn't it be great if we had a concert of Deep Purple where the whole lineup gets together on stage? But there were certain factions in the band didn't agree with that. My second, if only scenario, and it's sort of an honourable mention, is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2016. So I think the glaring non-appearance at that ceremony was Richie Blackmore. If he turned up, that would have been fantastic. And it may, he would have been the glue that would have been the bridge between the Mark II and the Mark III, because you got both of those on those lineups on stage and it looked like oil and water. But I'll go one step further. Imagine if only you got all the living members of Deep Purple and come to the ceremony, and I'm talking about your Rod Evans. He comes out of hiding or witness protection. Nick Simper on bass, Joe Lynn Turner, Joe Satriani. They all come, they all get up on stage and they have a knees up, rave up, just a full-on jam. Wouldn't that be something special? It's a fantasy, and it's something for, to think about. But whether it happened or not, maybe the odds wouldn't have been good. But anyway, that's the whole purpose of this show. It's all about the ifs, the what ifs, the fantasizing, all a lot of fun. Tell us, what's your favourite if only scenarios, sliding doors, lost opportunities with purple, or the Deep Purple family? I've only covered 5, and some honourable mentions. There are plenty more that, haven't thought of, and maybe we can talk about. Leave your comments. I love reading comments, good, bad, and indifferent. Please like and subscribe to Rock Daydream Nation. We are the Deep Purple channel. More rock content on Rock Daydream Nation just around the corner. All the best, and cheers.